What is going on, guys? We have the NHL Betting Market video for January the 17th. This one's going to be short and sweet, and the Capitals-Penguins game has already started, but we get to take a look at what an opening and closing game would look like in the NHL. So this is actually a quite heavily bet game here. Caps-Penguins, obviously a very important rivalry with Ovechkin and Crosby over the years. 2,080 bets, which is a healthy amount of bets for an NHL game. The line opened at minus 121 for the Penguins and was bet up to minus 125. 40% of bettors and 27% of the money was on the Penguins. So the line moved in favor of the Penguins despite 60% of bettors and 73% of the money being on the Capitals. So it's very interesting to note there that there might be some value on Pittsburgh Moneyline. Interesting to know. There's 12 minutes left in the third period for this one. It is tied 3-3. On to the OU, which opened at 6. The over 6 was minus 116. It was bet up to 6.5 at even. So this game is going to go over. 66% of bettors, 53% of the money. So the money was split pretty evenly, but the line did move in favor of the over. The one thing that I'm not sure of, guys, is it better to get 6 at minus 116, or is it better to get 6.5 at minus 112 on the under? Like, where do those two markets line up? Like, what would be the equilibrium for 6 minus 116 to 6.5? I don't have the answer right now. I could come up with a rough estimate right now, but as we get a bigger sample of games, it will be easier to understand the exact value of half a point, or half a goal, I should say, on the OU market. On to the puck line for this game. Capitals plus 1.5, minus 215. They were bet down to plus 1.5 at minus 204. So Penguins were a little bit more popular despite receiving only 27% of the money. But again, that plus 181 and this 27% is quite even. So they're not actually taking a ton of risk here. Whereas on the money line, they are taking a lot more risk because this minus 125 to 27% does not line up. Whereas this plus 181 to 27% is fairly close. Like, there's not a lot of discrepancy there. So books taking exposure on the Penguins money line. So it'll be interesting to see with a 3-3 tied game with about 12 minutes left, if the Pens can pull it off and make some money for the books, or if the people at home are going to make some money on the Capitals plus anywhere from plus 108 to plus 113 on that money line. And then on to the Blackhawks Panthers, 718 bets so far. The Blackhawks open at plus 136 as road dogs, and they've been bet down to plus 128. 70% of bets and 76% of the money has been placed on the Blackhawks, helping push that line down. But the books are taking some exposure on the Panthers since they are minus 142 favorites. You think there would be closer to about 58% of the money on the Panthers with this line to break even. But so far, books are taking some exposure on the Blackhawks as small dogs on the road. So look out for the Panthers money line. And then the OU for this game opened 6.5, still at 6.5, but the juice has pushed towards the under, despite 59% of bettors and 56% of the money being put on the over. And then on to the puck line for this game. So interesting to note here that the line has moved in favor of the Blackhawks, just like it did on the money line. So Blackhawks at plus 1.5 goals, minus 164, up to minus 179. They have received 70% of bets and 76% of the money. So books taking a little bit of exposure not only on the Blackhawks money line, but they're also taking some exposure on the Blackhawks puck line, since that minus 179 doesn't line up with this 76%. So some exposure there on the Panthers later on tonight. It will be interesting to see if there is more buyback on the Panthers at these better numbers of plus 160 and minus 142. But that is yet to be seen, and make sure you guys jump on something like Action Network or Sports Insights to try to get more info when the puck is going to drop at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But that's it, short and sweet. There's only 2 games tonight, 2 NFL playoff games. The Fat Guy and I will be live streaming the Bucks Saints game, so make sure you guys join us for that, and we will catch you guys later. Good luck for your January 17th wagers.